Hey, you guys, welcome to Hidden Images Podcast, powered by the all new Hidden Images Radio Network, Dallas's podcast hub, plus the top variety of music, all under one roof. I'm your podcast host, Sabrina with an E, and for the next 2 hours, we're bringing you nothing but the biz. Today is October 9th, and we are 22 days away from Halloween, 45 days away from Thanksgiving and 77 days away from my favorite time of the year, Christmas, which actually falls on a Monday this year. So we're exactly 11 weeks from today from Christmas, and that's the most wonderful time of the year. And I love celebrating Christmas. So that leads me to ask the question of the day. Have you started your Christmas shopping yet? I know I haven't. I'm not going to even pretend like I have. I've not started any shopping yet at all, but I did bring you three local brands that you can start your Christmas shopping with today. So, why not spend your hard earned dollars creating memories that last a lifetime? Book images you can hold photography for your holiday portraits and let them turn your image into something you can hold, like a keepsake pillow, a t shirt, or their most popular item, the handcrafted Bedazzle photo canvas. Head on over to their Facebook page right now. Images you can hold photography and book your holiday portraits today. So the holiday season is right around the corner, and I know so many of you are already running around crafting up ideas in holiday decor to wow your family and friends. At Namas Crafts Decor and more, the running around and hassles are done for you. Choose from a variety of handcrafted items such as holiday wreaths, extravagant centerpieces, custom door signs, and personalized gift baskets to take home and leave your guests wowed by their experience. Shop Namas, Crafts Decor, and more right now. When you're done shopping Namas, head on over to Instagram and place your holiday order with Anna Cat Craft Studio, a small crafting shop that loves making t-shirts, tumblers, earrings, and more. Shop Anna Cat Craft Studio this holiday season today. All right, that's enough on that Christmas holiday stuff because I know some of y'all like Christmas already. But guess what? I've got some hidden news you can use. I got three events I want to plug in real quick. Y'all already know the Women with Purpose Tour Dallas, Texas, November the 5th at Pacific Place, here in the heart of downtown Dallas, 1910 Pacific Avenue. We've got social media influencer Luscious Barbie. We've got LD Woods returning along with Nikki Joyner, Coach Shay, Louisiana native Sonia Tesaurus, and Houston native Candace Joseph. Hosted by Anthony Smith and Houston native Corey Harrison. With a special self empowerment brunch by Aubriana Terrell, founder of the nonprofit organization Utopian Estates. VIP tickets are on sale right now, and I've got the 50% off code, but you got to stay tuned in order to get that code, and I'll give it to you coming up here in about 30 minutes. So this Saturday, October 14th, if you're in Houston, Texas, Black Excellence Networking event at 3105 Fondren Road, Houston, Texas, 77063. And that is hosted by Miss Corey Harrison, the CEO of K All Day. I can't wait to meet her next month at our event. But y'all go ahead and mark your calendars. Mark your calendars for this one, February 3rd, 2024. The Plus Society, excuse me, the Plus Society and Real Extra Entertainment presents Body and Confident Fashion Show. It's held at a secret location, so you got to get your tickets in order to know where that's going to be. Head on over to www.boldandconfidentfashionshow.com. That's bold with the letter N, confidentfashionshow.com. That's all I have right now for the hidden news you could use. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back with more Hidden Images podcast powered by the all new Hidden Images Radio Network.
I want for lunch, serving curry, go and cut. How you do this all at once? Ooh, I came up from nothing and it's crazy. Money be the motive on a daily. That's what motivate me.
Sean got that flash drive, bro. I thought them beats was gone.
Why you keep bringing up that flash drive?
Sean can't do what I can do with them beats.
If you disrespect me, we gon' share more.
Hip Hop. It's your girl, and I'm back with the homie Rolling Royce.
You know what? I'm gonna show you how a real rapper do this, though. You feel me?
So right now we're looking for an artist out there that stands out, bringing that real, raw, true essence of real hip hop.
Down, ay, keep your composure. You never be closer to a supernova.
Listen,
I tried, told you.
You can be as big as you want to be with this music shit, bro. The only thing you gotta do is be consistent.
Don't go nowhere either. You need to learn something.
We on.
Sean, do you know any reason why somebody would want to kill your brother?
Nephew, please tell me that yourself causing some mess.
Head to Triple Dirty Record to get more details on how to enter.
I hear hissing. I see roll.
Hey, they picked you.
They're knocking the door.
I got some Dallas legends in the building tonight as well.
Gotta watch these. Gotta watch these niggas. Gotta
This
watch
is hip hop, baby.
I hear hissing.
This competition is getting real stiff right now.
Hey, they asking what you want to be introduced as. You still going by Sean King?
Nigga. Gotta watch these.
One thing though, Sean. When we do this, ain't no going back. That means after these niggas tell you what you want to hear,
All right, welcome back to Hidden Images Podcast, powered by the all new Hidden Images Radio Network. That was a movie trailer from Mojo Savage coming out in here soon. Y'all probably can be able to check that out on Tubi real soon, but y'all go ahead and follow their page. Head on over to Facebook, Mojo Savage Movie. Check them out. Go ahead and follow them. Their movie's coming out real soon. Again, we are here at Hidden Images Podcast, and I'm super excited to be back on the podcast. It's been such a long time. I've had a couple episodes thrown out there, but like just to be back here Monday at 12. I think this is the first one I've done Monday at 12, and we're just gonna kick it right here, kick it off right here. So I'm here with today's guest, Sheba Creative, and I love the ending, and I love the AF at the end. Is it exactly what I'm thinking that it stands for?
Well, Sabrina, I can tell you that it's probably what you think, but my mom told me that I should start telling people it means and favored.
I love shout out to Mama for that one. I like the clean version. I
Yes.
love that. I love that. We gonna stick with that. We're gonna stick with that.
Yes.
Yes, and favored. So she ain't Sheba, creative and favored. I
Hallelujah.
love that. Here with us from Houston, Texas, owner of MUZE Marketing Management, helping clients to develop and build their brands to increase revenue and visibility. And y'all already know this is a business podcast, so we're always going to be talking about business and branding and marketing and advertising. And I'm always going to bring you guests that can feed you that type of knowledge. So, Miss Sheba, we're going to kick it off to you. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then we're going to dive into your brand.
Okay, I'm Sheba, Creative AF. The LLC of my business is Creative AF Consulting. So Muse is a subsidiary of that parent company. And the reason why I did that is because it took me many years of a journey, a spiritual journey, personal development journey, to really figure out which direction I was supposed to be going in. And so ultimately I landed on splitting my business from coaching, personal development coaching, into marketing and branding. So Muse is where we focus on marketing and branding, and Creative AF Consulting is for creative coaching and personal development. So I have been doing this thing since 2019 professionally, full-time since 2021. And I actually started my journey in 2016 as a podcaster. And I did that because I was looking to get a master's in marketing in 2013, but I was tired from giving birth. So I said, I don't want to go to school anymore right now, but I still love this. So I decided a few years later, after I've been trying to get a job in marketing and I couldn't get one because I didn't have the experience, right? So I says, well, I got to give myself some experience. So we start the podcast and we grow it, and it was really successful. And, it just ultimately, I think, some things just expire whenever they're supposed to. So
Yeah.
I still have the podcast feed. I still use it frequently. I plan to start using it again later this year. And that's how I learned all my skills that I use for my clients on my.
Yeah. 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 I love that. That actually that what you're talking about is exactly going to lead into our quote, our hidden gems and quote later. And once I read it to you, it'll all come together. But I love hearing that. I mean, same for me. Like I started my brand in 2020 and I'm self-taught on everything. As far as marketing and advertising, everything that I know, the podcasting, like everything is so new to me. Just like you said, everything just happens at perfect timing. I'm a firm believer of that as well. Because 10 years ago, I wasn't thinking about podcasting. A lot of people weren't thinking about
Right.
podcasting 10 years ago, but still, it's a lot of things that I'm doing now that I never thought saw myself or even envisioned myself doing. So kudos to you for finding that lane, finding your niche, and finding what you're good at. But there's something that I heard that I want to bring to everyone's attention, because it's something that I had to address earlier, in another podcast episode. Because there are differences between marketing and advertising and branding. And I like how you said you had to separate
Mm.
your brands because they're different.
Oh
Even though
yeah.
they're under the same family, they're still different.
Mhm.
And so, what's your approach uh, coming to you for marketing management versus for coaching?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. Maybe it's me.
No, you're fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think you asked me about
Difference
coaching.
between how you
Okay.
approach coaching clients and the difference between how you approach marketing management clients.
So coaching clients generally come when they feel like, they're looking for improvement, and then a branding or marketing client is looking for more money. And what they don't
Mm,
really realize is sometimes it's really the same thing. But the questions are different, because it's more of a personal, intrinsic journey with the coaching. But ultimately, people who are trying to grow a brand, especially if it's like a personal brand, like for motivational speaking or public speaking, they also need that coaching.
yeah.
So it's just really the difference, I guess, is in how you onboard them, like what questions you ask them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so, as far as brand, give me a few tips or give us a few tips on what it might take to build a brand or what it looks like building a brand.
Visibility. Visibility is one. Having a clear direction. So, I think one of the things that I don't want to call it a problem, but a lot of us, because even when I first started, I did not know what this was going to be. I just
Mhm.
got this bug in me that was like, go do something
Yeah.
and call it this and go out there and start talking. But having like a clear definition of who you are, so that goes for if you're doing a personal development thing or a branding thing, what do you want it to
Uh,
be?
yeah.
So, what's the long-term vision? And then like being able to clearly define those small steps and the small actions that help you grow into that. So like if I say, okay, well ultimately I want to be the hostess of a morning talk show on
Mhm.
Houston TV, I know that I need to start positioning myself for being able to host a show. So it's like if you have your ultimate goal, everything that you do should lead into that. So
Mhm.
you can't be like, I mean, this is like I said, this also, that's why I said the coaching, even though it's not the same thing, there's so many things about it that are similar. So
Yeah.
it's like saying, I want to quit smoking, but then you still go and buy a pack of cigarettes every day because you don't really want to quit smoking.
Yeah.
So like you have to be intentional and just set the goal and make sure that everything you do every day feeds into building that brand. So, if you say you want to be the top t-shirt producer in the country, but you don't ever post anything and nobody knows that you make t-shirts, like
Mhm.
you're not serious.
Mhm. Absolutely. 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 And so I want to plug in your strategy section link here.
Okay.
And I want to talk about that, talk about a strategy session. Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs. They need things like this. They need these strategy sessions. They need those what's the word I'm looking for? Not a conference call, but a
Well, just
a
the
consultation.
yeah, consultation.
A
Um,
consultation.
so strategy session is like getting in front of a whiteboard
Mhm.
and you bring to me your idea, like, Sheba, I need to make $10,000 a month. Okay, boom. So that's the ultimate goal. That's where we're going. So then we construct a strategy for how to get there. But you got to look at where you are now and where you want to go. And then you build a bridge from here to there. So
Yeah.
that might mean, okay, well, maybe I need to offload some of my expenses. Do I
Mhm.
need to stop paying $1,500 a month for my office if I can't afford to right now? You know, do I need to bring on employees? Like, what does all that stuff look like? And how do you ultimately achieve that if you're looking for this overall goal?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And it could be even like I said, I want to position myself as the authority in teaching people how to save money. If that's you, then we need to construct a plan and a strategy that includes you teaching people how to save money right now. Because a lot of people want to build themselves up to that point. They want somebody to call them and say, hey, I want to book you to come speak at my event to talk about saving money. But you've never posted anything that says that you know how to save money. You've never talked about being the teacher for people who know how to save money. So, like, stop waiting for them to call you up to the stage and build your own platform. So, that's
Mhm.
what we're talking about. How do we do
Yeah.
that? What are the day to
Yeah.
day steps that you need to be doing so that you can become what it is that you want to become?
Yeah. And I have to admit something that I actually never admitted on the podcast before. So, part of my drive for starting the brand, of course, it was the pandemic, but part of my drive for starting the brand was exactly that. I was feeding information to people that I knew was correct,
Mm,
as far as how to build a brand, marketing, advertising, but I didn't have my own brand.
mm,
So, of course, nobody's gonna listen to me. I don't have my own business. I'm not doing anything. So that was part of my drive as well to start a business, was to actually talk what I'm teaching, or
mm.
what they say. And so I'm here 2 years later, and I still have a lot of growing to do. Man, I tell entrepreneurs all the time and business owners, get ready for the journey because it's at least at minimum a 10-year journey.
I know. We barely got started, girl.
Barely got started. I'm barely scratching the surface. There's so many things that I need in place, and it's okay to say that we all need those things. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are afraid to ask for help.
Hmm.
I'm afraid to book those strategy calls and invest in those strategy calls. It's not
Oh,
a free
yeah.
strategy call. Let's clear
Mhm.
that up right now. I've already looked. I've already
Look, it's not a free strategy call. And I'll tell you that I did do some free calls, but they
Yeah,
don't
we all
serve
do in the
me and they
beginning.
don't, yeah, in the beginning. But
Mhm.
you know
Yeah.
what? I have a questionnaire that you can fill out and I'll do your free audit. So you don't have to pay
Mhm.
for that. Just go fill out
Yeah.
the questionnaire. And I mean, it might come across to some people that I'm being heavy handed in the information, but you need that. So how are you going to
Yeah.
know that you need to improve if I don't tell you? So it just is easier for
Oh,
me to
I love
say,
it.
it's just easier for me to give you the feedback from the questionnaire that you didn't have to pay for, and then when you decide that you're serious about your business, you'll make that investment. It's $300 investment. If you're serious, you'll make it, because there is no
Yeah.
possible way that you are going to make money without spending any money.
Oh, absolutely. 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 I invest in a strategy called $300 guarantees you a net return, especially if you listen and take that advice. I have a couple of people that I work with, and I'll be honest with you, like I give constructive criticism. And then I've gotten to the habit of where if I feel like my constructive criticism might hurt them, I don't even give feedback. And so I hope they understand that means change it. I don't like it. If I give you feedback, positive feedback, that's good. If I don't say anything, that might mean you need to fix, tweak, or perfect whatever you sent me to look over. So,
Right.
but I do need to be more direct. I do need to be more direct. I think entrepreneurs need to learn how to receive that as well, because it's only going to help your brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's not easy for any of us to receive any level of criticism or feedback that maybe, what feels like it's hurtful. But I
Yeah,
mean, you've got to grow and you have to be able
yeah,
to receive that
absolutely,
information ultimately. You know,
absolutely.
like I'll have clients who will tell me, "Oh, can you fix this or adjust this?" I mean, what am I going to say? No,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
I saw you on one of your reels. I think it was a reel. Um, I guess a client or some not a, I'm not going to say a client. Someone mentioned something about you posting a picture on a video or something or using it on a flyer,
Oh
and
yeah,
you went a little in on that live.
when I said you don't have to be nice in business.
Yes. And I love that. I told my friend that I showed my friend that video. I said, "You know what? This is the advice I needed to hear because I'm super nice." And my friend Nadia, we work together, and I always compare as good cop, bad cop. She's the bad cop, I'm the good cop. But
Yeah.
I need to learn how to be more bad cop, but not in a bad way, in a more constructive criticism way.
Well, I think honestly, for a lot of us, we want to be nice. We want to be well
Yeah.
liked. We want to be received like somebody's friend.
Mhm.
But ultimately, like, that's not business,
Yep.
you know?
Absolutely.
And that's something that you have to learn as you grow. I mean, ultimately, you become a business owner
Yeah.
once you step out in entrepreneurship. Like, that's not something that I always knew. I always wanted people to like me. And I was always bending over backwards and doing the nice thing when I should have been
Mhm.
doing the right thing,
Yep.
when I should have been saying the right thing. And sometimes the right thing doesn't feel good,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
but that's
true.
business.
Yeah, yeah. In business, you definitely have to have that thick skin, that tough skin. I was sharing with Nadia. I said because like you could literally do every single thing right from start to finish, but that customer might still have one little itty bitty thing to complain about. And that's just a part of doing business. It's not that you did anything wrong. Trust and believe. If you're in business for 10 years, you're gonna get an unhappy customer. It's just about how your approach on how to fix it, how to rectify it. And just acknowledging that client and making it right if it's something that you want made right. Not that you even did anything wrong, but that's just how we work as people.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like clients and customers are always right?
I feel like in business, it's just like we're just saying, like it's business. There's no right or wrong unless there's a definitive you did wrong, you did wrong. Like if there's like a fine line between it. Like I just said, like you literally could do everything right by a client and they might still be upset about something. And then you might be the worst business owner and don't know it and not wanting to change
Mhm.
and what they're saying is right. And then it could be on the client. You do have rude customers. You have people that literally not gonna lie. The other day I was doing some Lyft rides. This lady got in my car yelling and talking crazy. I looked at her. Oh, cancel. You can get out. I don't need your service. I don't need. I'm not even finna argue with you, lady.
Yeah,
So as a business owner, you have that right in any business to refuse service. So
service.
if it's a difficult client, just refuse their service. It's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's my favorite thing is just being able to say, I don't actually need to continue to do this. I
Yep.
love that we tried,
Yep.
but we can always cancel this contract
Oh
because
yeah.
I absolutely don't need this.
Yeah. 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 If it's gonna bring you way more trouble and hassle, then there's no point of dealing with it. And I've seen that before with a friend of mine. She was doing business with another client or with somebody. She was the client doing business with somebody. And they pretty much allowed her to change things and to do this and to do that, but her allowing it to happen, it all became a back and forth, and at the end they both ended up not being happy. But I was trying to explain to that business owner, well, unfortunately, that's your fault because you allowed those things to happen. This is your brand. You could have easily stopped the sale, well, I'm no longer gonna accommodate you on rescheduling this or putting your funds here. Like I'm not no longer gonna do that. Here's your money back.
Mm,
Could have done that a long time ago. So I agree with you on that. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that when you operate in business, you need to make sure you have contracts. Because when I first started, I didn't use contracts at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and there are still some types of projects that I'm like, I'll do a light written agreement or a verbal agreement. But when it
Yeah.
comes to something like large scale, like you have to have a contract because, and I learned this is like, especially when it comes to people paying you for service, if they feel like that was $1 million, they gonna work the hell out of you
Oh
for that
yes.
little bit of money. And it
Oh
could be
yes.
like $200 and they will be
Mhm.
on you like they spent like 6 months of rent. And I'm like,
Yep.
honey, first of all, we don't even have the resources to produce what you're talking about. Let's start there. Because you don't understand the budget
Yeah.
of this, first of all.
Yeah.
But like I think that's the important aspect of contracts. And like I said, that was something that I had to learn because I went out there like, I'll just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's important too, but I also think if you're going to have contracts and somebody breaks it, are you going to use it? That's why we have lawyers. That's why we have our
Mhm.
insurance and things like that in place. So, like having those contracts are great, but if somebody breaks this contract, am I going to go the legal route and the legal way to actually take care of this contract or sue this person or whatever I
Right.
need to in court? So yeah, definitely having contracts in place are guaranteed, but you might have to do a little more work
Right.
if they fall short on their end of the contract.
I guess that question then is, do you think it depends on your relationship with the other party? Or will you go to court no matter what?
I would go to court no matter what. I personally would.
Right, or
I
go and
would.
get that money.
I'm telling you, don't do business with me and try to bag out of no contract. Because if I'm doing my job, you better be doing yours.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would.
I hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was a
and then
hard
that's
lesson for me though.
yeah, and that's why some stuff, like depending on who it is, if I value their friendship, like Nadia, like I'll probably never into a contract with her on certain, depending on what it is.
Mhm.
I like we're such business besties that whatever she needs, I'll probably just do it. Like there's
Oh,
so
I love
many
that.
things that I just, well, let me help you with that. And same for her. So that's our dynamic and our relationship. So like you said, I guess it just depends on the person, the relationship, things like that. But I did learn um that, one of the mistakes I made is like mixing friendship. Like I think you kind of touched on it. Like I learned like meeting entrepreneurs and building business ships should be that. But meeting friends and having friendships should be that.
Mm.
I've been kind of merging the two as I'm on my entrepreneur journey, and it doesn't mesh well. For me, it doesn't mesh well.
Yeah.
I don't know for other people. How about yourself?
Oh no. Generally no. And but it again it depends on the type of work or the type of service that I'm,
Hmm.
giving to a friend. Because it's hard for you to set the boundaries that are required for you to do good work in those situations.
Yeah,
Because if I say no, again, it goes into what resources we have, what's in your budget as a client. I love you, but I can't go produce this because who gonna pay for it?
yeah,
Like some everything is not free. Like I think that's one thing that people don't realize is like, especially in creative services, they're like, oh well, you have a phone, why don't you just go record the video? Because who's going to pay for the time to go record it and then edit it and then modify those edits and then upload it and then like all that stuff
yeah,
has a different level of energy, and it all requires resources. Like somebody gets paid for each of those functions,
yeah,
you know
yeah. And I tell a lot of entrepreneurs, and not to cut anybody out, but if you don't want to invest you gotta learn. You're gonna have to get on YouTube and study it yourself. Like if you don't want to pay for a consultation, if you don't want to pay for your headshots, if you don't want to pay, you're gonna have to learn and teach yourself because you need all these things for your brand. It's
Mhm.
inevitable that you're gonna not need a branding strategy session.
Mhm.
You're gonna need headshots for your brand. You're going to need product photography. You're going to need a website. You're going to need all of these things for your brand to grow. And if you're not willing to pay somebody to do it, you better get on YouTube School Academy and you better learn yourself and you better but guess what? Learning and doing it yourself is going to take way more time. Trust me, I know. Trust
Girl.
me, I know. I it's not that's not even worth the time sometimes either to do it yourself. Like pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
That's their job. That's what they get paid for.
You're hitting on something so important right now. Like, honestly, it took me that many years to be like, okay, you got to split this up. Or, okay, this is what this is about, and this is what this is about.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the money to pay somebody to help me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't. And I had to get it out the mud and learn how to do everything and go study and research and try and try and try until it was like, boom, I get it.
Yep.
And so when it comes to branding, a lot of people focus heavily on visuals like logo, color, aesthetics. That's
Mhm.
fine. I love that. I think it's important because that helps with continuity and consistency when building awareness. But like, what about the inside of the brand? What about what's really making it up?
Yep.
Like, what about who you are? What about the essence of it? And that's why I like branding and PR, because branding is very private. That's something that happens between you or you and the business owner. And then in PR and marketing, that's when we're taking what we want the audience to know out there and giving it to them. They don't have to know everything. Like, there are people who are like, yeah, but I don't want to talk about that. You don't have to.
Right.
You don't have, they don't even know all of the intricacies that have been woven into your branding. You just giving them the image of it.
Right.
You can't really do that effectively if you don't do your work to build the foundational pieces.
Oh, you hit that on the money. And some of the big brands that I always tell people to refer to if you're looking for inspiration on branding, Coca-Cola,
Girl.
Nike, Pepsi. Oh, I
Mhm.
love Pepsi's brand. Pepsi has a message like Pepsi's message is to me, if you look at them in Coca-Cola, it's deeper than
Mhm.
Coca-Cola's because Pepsi's message is diversity.
Mhm.
It's culture, it's inclusivity. It's even within their workplace, they hire felons. They
Mhm.
and I don't know actually if Coca-Cola does, but I know a lot about Pepsi. I've studied a little bit of their about their brand
Mhm.
and Pepsi's culture, their branding, like everything internally is just woven just so nice for me. And I love a good brand. I rave on Coke and Pepsi and Nike all the time because we all know those are
Yeah.
brands that have made a name for themselves, especially Nike too. Like, just
Mhm.
do it. Like,
Okay, I'll say this about Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Nike. Coca-Cola, I referenced them recently, just basically saying they're Coca-Cola because of the branding, not because the
yeah,
soda is so good.
yeah,
But they have
absolutely.
convinced all these people that it's like
Yep.
the top brown cola. But I'll tell
Mhm.
you, if I was Pepsi and I was entering a market that Coca-Cola had cornered for already a couple of decades, I absolutely would be like, how do I connect to the community, or how do I hit the people? And it's through exactly what you're talking about. Like, I can remember growing up, I decided I liked Pepsi because Britney Spears was in the commercial.
Mm. Mm.
I liked Britney Spears.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's just little things like that. Like, I mean, Coca-Cola, remember they had Tyrese singing on the bus?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, yep.
But it
Mhm.
still never was, like you said, like super community focused. But I think for Coca-Cola, it's almost like, do they really have to do all those things because they literally were first? So it's
Whew.
like, we've been here. Who is going to
Yeah.
fight me? It's like trying to go into a situation and bring down the big dog. So it's like you have to have like a slightly different positioning like Pepsi does if you
Yeah.
even want to compete. Because if you
Yeah.
tried to do exactly what they're doing, you would never.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're not gonna
Not at all. But here's my thoughts on Nike. The reason
Yeah.
why I think Nike is important, and especially mentioning it to people who are building brands, is because Nike has so many products and so many shoes right now, right? So many. But when
Yeah.
Nike started, they had one pair of shoes. So
Mm,
when you are starting your brand, do not try to enter the market like Nike today. Go
right.
Nike then, like get one product and pound it out. Bring that one product to market, sell it, and let yourself be known for that product, and then introduce a new product. People come to market and they have 20 products and they're a totally, completely unknown brand. And so then they're out here like, okay, I want you to buy this. 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 Instead of saying, I want you to buy this. I want you to buy this. I want you to
Mm,
buy this. I want you to buy this. So you're doing too much and you're giving them too many things. So just
yep.
enter the market with
Mhm.
one product.
I love that. That woo, you hit that on the money too because like with I like earlier when you heard me do those announcements, images you can hold photography, that's my own photography brand.
Mm,
So of
okay.
course I'm gonna plug it in. But our most popular item that we sell are my handcrafted bedazzled canvases. And
Okay. I
that's my
heard that.
most
I wanted to
popular.
ask about it.
Yeah, that's my most popular item because I focused on that item because it's different. Nobody's
Hmm.
doing it. Of course, I can. If you order a T-shirt with a picture on it, yeah, I can get that made for you all day long, or a pillow with the logo on it, or with some type of quote on it. Yeah, but I have been focused on those bedazzled canvases because they're different and unique, and I want people to see that. They're gonna see that.
Hmm.
You hit that on the money. But
Well,
yeah, I actually
you have
let me
one to show me?
see. I'll,
Because
I'll,
that's what
I'll
I was
get one on the
thinking.
commercial break.
Okay.
I'll
When
get
you
one
were
on our
talking
next
about
commercial
it,
break.
I was like, I want to see that.
Okay,
And I
I'll
don't
run
know.
and
I
go
mean,
get
I
it real
didn't.
quick.
Okay. I see a comment here from Walking His Ways Impact Voice podcast. The wealth of knowledge that you accumulated is valuable for success, and it is not free. Absolutely.
Okay, get back in
Absolutely.
here. Okay, so I like to show this one because I'm
Okay.
always supporting people here around Dallas. But this is one I made last. Actually, I made it this year. It's
Okay.
the drop spot. So these are all Dallas actors and actresses. Actually,
Mm,
the movie that I showed during the commercial, Mojo Savage, the same
yeah.
producer, all the cast members here. But this is an example of the bedazzle photo canvas. So I just
Oh,
take
that
the
looks really good.
canvases and I'll glitter the border, and then sorry it keeps going in and out, and then I'll put
That's
little
okay.
jewels on it, and of course the border is always going to match the picture, but this is their photo cover. And I just printed this off at Walmart, the picture, then I put the glue down, and I literally just glued this down, and then I put glue on top of it to kind of give it that canvas feel. So you can touch
Oh,
it. It's literally almost like waterproof. Of course, you can't soak it in water or anything like that. But yeah, this is one of my favorite ones actually. And y'all
no,
go
I
check
love
out
that.
this movie. It's still on Tubi, y'all. The Drop Spot. Y'all know I'm gonna keep plugging that in.
I worked on some movies recently,
Yeah.
and I think it's so interesting to see the trailers and to also witness and experience the development of the
Mhm.
film because it's
Yep.
so much that goes into it. I
Yeah.
generally do like production assistant or craft services.
So you were in a movie there in Houston?
Actually, I did make a cameo in the last one, but generally I just do production assistant,
Mhm.
craft services. So like I'm the mama and I'm keeping everybody in order and in line. But I did
Yeah.
have to make a cameo. I had to die. I had to be murdered.
Oh. Oh goodness.
Yes, and so my legs were like that was
You
my
know
biggest.
what? That's so funny because I saw a reel on this guy. He wanted to be in movies so bad, or wanted to play a dead character so bad, that he literally went out like every day and start creating these reels
Mm,
of him playing dead in different areas, different spots, just pitching like Hollywood, hey, look, come
yeah.
see me, come do it. And it worked. It landed him a couple of roles playing like a dead character. I feel like he was even on an episode. I don't want to. I want to say Law and Order, but I don't want to lie or anything. But definitely it worked for him. So
But
yeah,
that's like
that
what we were just talking about too.
yeah.
Like that's
Mhm.
your consistent effort towards what it is that you're trying to create. That man was
Yep.
serious about that.
Yeah.
And then
He
finally the
was-
universe was like, here, because he put
yep.
so much energy into it. I mean, that's how you get blessed, honestly.
Yep.
Is
That is
like
true.
keep showing up for that same thing, like
Yeah.
really seriously, and then it'll just
Yeah.
all and it seems like it's overnight. And I think that's why we always see people overnight success, but like those people have been working consistently to drill that, you know.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
years. Oh my goodness. No. It's true. I mean, we got to stop thinking that people are overnight sensations. It's
Mhm.
not like that. I don't even know how to explain what that term even means cuz it's not it's not an overnight sensation.
Mm-mm.
Like people are putting in years of hard work to get to where they are.
Mhm. Yeah, and like, I've been in business since I said since 2019 doing various things, but primarily like working to become this, right?
Yes.
But, I would say that in Houston, in this industry, it is kind of competitive. And I'm not a competitor really. Like I don't compete. I just believe in collaboration and then I just do what I do
Yeah.
because I feel like it doesn't matter if you're PR, if you're marketing, if you're branding, you don't do anything the way I do it. And
Oh,
that's
I love
because
that.
that's because I had to teach myself primarily everything that I do. So these are concepts that I sat and wrote out and gave names that I named them because nobody taught it to me. I teach it to myself.
Yeah.
And so it's like we don't need to compete. And I think a lot of people they look at what you might be doing and they might decide that they want to compete with you because they feel something or they see you doing something, but they don't know how many years you've been doing it. So like
Yep.
of course I'm where I'm at right now. This is my time. I've been digging out of this hole for years. You
Yep.
expect me to stay in it? No, I'm about to come into the sunlight. This is my
Yeah,
moment.
absolutely. Yes. It's my time to shine.
Yeah.
You go put in this work like I did.
Hey, hey, and I mean, and even if they've been putting in work and then they see you pop up, because I've
Yeah.
had people
Yep.
who I've asked to mentor me in certain lanes, and like then I hear that they told somebody not to trust me or this and that, and I'm like, based on what?
Yeah.
You don't even know me. Like I need a teacher.
Yeah.
That's why I came to you.
Yeah.
So I'll go figure it out, but I don't
Yeah.
want to hear nothing once I figured it out.
Yep. Absolutely. I don't want to hear nothing. Ooh, I've said this plenty of times. Anybody that I've tried to work with, connect with, partner with, collaborate with, if I have tried to give you that and put you in a position to collaborate with me and you didn't take it or jump on that train, then don't try to jump on when it takes off. I'ma look. Bye.
Listen, there's no room for you. You can't sit
No
over here at this
room.
moment. And it's not even to be
Mm-mm.
ugly. It's just like this is not that
No.
season. Like
No.
maybe there will be time for us to, circle back and talk about how we can work together maybe at another time. But
Yeah.
like if you miss it right now, then it's just probably not for you right now. And I
Yep.
really believe that. Like I don't believe that we can take things from each other, positions, jobs, none of that. You have what you're supposed to have
Yep.
always. And if you feel like, oh, that was mine and I didn't get it, then why don't you just relax because something better is probably coming for you right
Yeah.
now. Like there might
Yeah.
be something more aligned with how you are right now that serves you. Like I wouldn't want to be called up to go to host a television show at this moment because I'm not ready. But I'm not going to look at somebody who's hosting a TV show and feel like she took my job.
Mhm. Yep.
That
Yep.
doesn't make sense.
Not at all. Mm-mm. Not at all. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back. I kind of want to dive into media and PR. I think
Okay.
a lot of people need to know a little bit more about media and PR, but we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back with more Hidden Images podcast. North Texas Media Group, the edge of innovation. Unlock your true potential with high quality media production. Great for podcasters, music artists, video production, voice actors, graphic designers, gamers, and more. North Texas Media Group, revolutionizing media production. Contact one of our media specialists today. All right, we're back with more Hidden Images podcast powered by the all new Hidden Images Radio Network, a Dallas podcast hub, plus the top variety of music, all under one roof. Again, I'm Sabrina with an E, your podcast host, and I'm here with Miss Sheba Creative.
Hey, hey.
I love it. I love it. We're having such a good time. I'm so happy to connect with you. Before we took that quick commercial break, mentioned I want to talk just a little bit more about or about PR and media.
Okay,
I think that that's something that we actually haven't covered here on the podcast. I haven't had a PR or media guest, so this will be a great opportunity to explain exactly what PR is, and how it relates to media, and how that could help brand owners.
absolutely. All right. So, public relations or PR
Mhm.
is any activity or strategy that helps you to craft a positive image to present to the public. So, I think a lot of people mistake PR for straight publicity, which publicity is like getting media placements. So, like when I take clients on TV or when I put somebody on Sabrina's podcast, that can qualify as publicity.
Mhm.
If you get published in a magazine or in articles, those are publicity items. But like PR is more extensive than that because it goes into that branding space. So it's like, okay, well, here's the message. And so every time we post on social media, we're going to work this PR strategy that once we're ready to write a press
Mm.
release, then the message is the same, right? So that's not something that is a one-time thing. That's like a consistent effort. So like if we're going to do an event, the event from a PR perspective hopes to achieve a goal established in the PR strategy.
Mhm.
So if it's to build awareness of those bedazzled canvases, we're going to have a party strictly for bedazzled canvases. Then
Mhm.
we can bring in sponsors that will support bedazzled canvases. So there's a lot of really strategic nuances that are in there in a PR strategy. So it's not just publicity, which publicity is, like I said, a part of PR. But like
Mhm.
you could, if you're a large organization, you can have a publicist and then you can have a PR specialist, and they don't have to
Mm.
be the same person.
Mm. I like that. That's that. Hey, that helped me out a lot. I tell everybody every episode I don't know everything, and that's something. That's how we connected. With me trying to throw the event in Houston, and you were behind the scenes teaching me stuff about media and PR, and same
Yeah.
thing for Candace. I'd never done a press release before, so
Hmm.
this is all new to me too, you all. So we're all learning together here on the podcast every Monday, every Wednesday. We're always going to be learning. I don't know anything more than the next person, because you always have to be a student of the game. Shout out to Furman because he was in the comment section earlier. He
Mm.
owns Walking His Ways Impact Voice podcast, and he's always talking about being a student of the game, about here. And so
Yeah.
I want to go back to one of the main things that you've been saying. I don't know if you've been hearing yourself saying, if the listeners have been hearing her saying this, but I caught on to it throughout this entire message that we're giving you all. And one of the things that you keep referring back to, which is so important, is to have a goal and to understand where you're going. You said that several times, and I love that because you have to know where you're going with your brand, with your message. Why is that so important to know where you're going?
Girl, because if you don't have a proper direction for yourself, you're going to go in
Mm.
circles or you're going to just be wobbling around. Like, you've got to have that because it also helps you keep going when you want to quit. Like, you've
Yeah.
got to remember, like, maybe I don't see it yet, but then, like, stop and look around. Like, I mean,
Mm.
does it look like it could grow into that? Does it
Yeah.
look like it has any of the elements of what I said I wanted it to be? Okay,
Mhm.
well, then let me keep going. But if you don't have a goal or direction, then you will quit and you'll be like, Whatever. I'll
Yeah.
just like this." Because it's hard. It's not easy. And like you said, I mean, generally it takes about 10 years to build something solid. So, like, you and I are still, barely in it.
Oh yeah.
So, like, when you look at, Hidden Images Radio Network, does it look like the full culmination of what you saw? No, not yet. but you're not going to
No.
drop
Mm-mm.
it just
Yep.
because
Mm,
it's just now starting.
yep.
Like what the vision is. And I think one of the easiest ways for you to stay in it when you want to quit because it's not yet grown into to what you want it to be is to be able to define success for yourself. So like if I
Mhm.
said success is only me being on that TV show that I want to host, then every single day that I'm not doing that, I would feel like a failure. And then what
Mm.
does that do to me as a business owner? It doesn't make me very powerful. It doesn't make me very impactful. It won't let me go to a networking event and present myself as an authority and what I know how to do. So I'm really doing myself a disservice every time that I'm like, well, my goal is my only success point. So yeah, you have the goal because that's where you're going. It's like, taking aim to a target. That's where I'm going. But the little metrics and the actions that you set for yourself, that really helps you to stay in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You answered that perfectly. I don't know what to add to that except entrepreneurs, brand owners, business owners, stay the course.
Mhm.
Just continue doing what you're doing. Look at your message. Is it clear? Is it direct? And keep pushing forward because just like Sheba said, if you don't know what your goal is, how you want to be able to hire somebody to help you achieve
Mhm.
something that you don't even know where you're going. So you have to have that goal. You have to know where your brand is going, where you want to take your brand in order to even help yourself, in order to get help to scale and grow your brand. So that's important.
Yeah, and I wanna add this too, because I don't want people to think that if it's time to pivot or it's time to offload something, they can't do it because,
Hmm.
okay, well, I said I wanted it to be like this. Like, I have changed this multiple times. The thing is that the goal that you set today, and after you start journeying, it might change. It might change. The ultimate vision might change, or the path there might change. So don't be afraid to pivot and change what you need to, but just don't quit because the thing is
Yeah,
that this is how I see it. I saw a vision, right? Oh, it's this, but I can't know exactly what it is because I'm not in there yet. I'm not
yeah,
in 2025 or 2026, wherever I'm going. All I can do is say, I saw myself moving in this direction. So if I need to change it a little bit so that I can stay in it, you should do that because really we don't know exactly what God has for us when we get where we're going.
absolutely. That's so true. That is so true. And anybody who has followed me, y'all, if you followed me closely, like some of y'all probably follow me, yeah, but some of y'all probably follow me closely enough to know I have changed this thing many times. My logos have changed many times. The direction I'm going has changed many times. I started off doing the magazine, interviewing entrepreneurs. It wasn't the podcast, it
Mm,
was the magazine online. And I realized, well, it's great, but people are only reading the articles like the day I drop it or the week that I drop a
mhm,
magazine. After that, it's like just dead. Like nobody's like, I'm not that big enough of a magazine yet. So when I started the podcast, which is really the same thing as a magazine, only in
mhm,
audio form, people were receiving it better. People were reaching out more. I like the podcast. I like what you're doing. I like watching you. Or you're not on the day when you coming back on. So you really have to test things out. I love what Meta has in their Meta Suite space, where you can do an A/B test. You can
mm,
test out this picture, test out this post. You can do a B post and test out with a different picture, different content that you've put on there, and see which one actually gets their attention. And it's the same thing with our brands. You got to put things out there just to test the water sometime to see what
mhm,
grabs the attention of the people. And then once you know that people are gravitating towards the bedazzled canvases or towards a
mhm.
particular item, then that's how you know you've crafted or created or come up with something good that people like.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And I like that you said that, just about testing. And I think for people who are afraid to waste resources, because I think there are some people who are like, "Oh, I don't want to drop this. I don't know if it's ready." Just do a focus group or prepare some
Ooh.
market research,
Yep.
like that way you don't have to, put a lot of money into that endeavor. Like you're not going to drop 15,000 worth of products, but
Ooh,
you
that's
spend
a
a
good
little
idea.
bit to bring some people in from your target, have them try it, and then you'll be able to craft really good messaging too from
Yeah.
that, because you get to talk to the people who are really interested in the product or service.
That's some good advice. I think I'm gonna grab that little piece and plug that in to a commercial or something. That's really good advice. I hadn't even thought of it myself, but that is a great way to test out products and test out services is a focus group and some type of friend group or that's
Mhm.
why friends and family are so important when you're starting your brand out. I gotta put this tablet down because I'm about to get upset real quick because I get so angry and upset when I see entrepreneurs online. Oh, well, my friends and family don't support me. And girl, stop it. You just started your brand. Like, those are the people that you should be using for those focus groups, those test groups. Girl, I done started a brand. Let me get all five of my friends here. I want y'all to test this product out. Let me try this on you. Let me do like those are the people you should be using to help test and perfect your brand. Not trying to sell. Here, girl, I got this item here, here, here. First of all, most of my friends, they in the same tax bracket I am, and I know
Okay.
what they can and can't afford. Like I know what they
And
can
they
and
probably
can't
not your target
afford.
audience.
They're not. Like stop setting yourselves up for that heartbreak and thinking that you're failing because your friends and your family don't support you. It's not
Mhm.
that. You probably you just need more time to grow your brand. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, and if you really feel like your wealth and riches and growth and expansion and business is going to come from the 12 people that you know in your
Exactly.
family and in your
No.
friend group, then
Yep.
why are you in business?
Why
Because
are
that's not
you
it.
in business? Nope.
You know,
Nope.
like I used to do network marketing or multi-level marketing. I tried it and I wrote this blog about it one time, the only blog I have posted. But it was because, people complaining about their friends and family not supporting them. But I exhausted my warm network when I was doing that.
Yeah.
People would not open my messages. People would not talk to me
Yep.
because all I wanted to talk to them about was shake mix.
Yep.
Because I was determined to sell my friends and family on this product. So
Yep.
of course they're not going to buy it though, because like they never saw me as a fitness guru. Never. They only saw me as me. So they were
Yep.
never going to be like, you know what? And then I was already fairly thin. So they were looking at me like, you're not even losing any weight. What are you trying to lose? So they're like, you're not the spokesmodel for this. So I wasn't very successful with that, but I did learn a lot of really excellent skills. But I did also learn that like your friends and family are not the target. So like
Mm-mm.
this is not
Mm-mm.
network marketing. So
No.
like you said, if you want them to test the product and give you feedback, that's great. And just make sure that you're really strategic about the people that you pick from your friends and family, because
Yeah.
we have some who are inherently negative and they will be on that other. So
And we know those. I'm gonna invite them just to show off.
just to show off.
You getting this invitation because I told you I could do it and I'm doing
Huh.
it.
You're gonna have to watch us eat, as Beyonce said.
I
Go ahead and
love it.
prepare that table for me in front of my enemies so I can
Hmm.
munch, munch, munch. I don't know. How
Okay.
do you feel about that? How do you feel about that statement or that scripture?
Say scripture again.
I feel like you're breaking up again. Say it again.
It did. It cut out. It just cut out.
We're
No,
gonna finish
say
this.
yes. Say it again. What the
I
script
don't
or what?
remember the exact scripture, but I know it says that like that God will prepare a table for you to eat in front of your enemies.
I mean, oh wow, exactly kind of how it sounds like. There are people in this world that that will that will come across you and that will do you wrong. They have no good intentions. Or you have people in your life that they had good intentions. You had a great relationship or a good friendship or a good marriage and it just failed. And they try to bring you down during the process. But God is over here creating tables and keeping you afloat right in front of them. Everything, every stone, every stick that they try to throw at you, God is like blocking them. Like, nah, nah, I'm over here creating this table for her or for him. And there's nothing you could do to stop that because I have God on my side, and I'll be honest, that's how I feel, personally about my ex, my marriage. Like
Oh
there's so
yeah,
many, man, if y'all go through, and I'm telling you, I already said on the podcast, I'm ready to air it all out. If y'all go through every stone that side tried to throw at me and to see me sitting here today, that's a perfect example of God creating tables for you when your enemies try to bring you down.
absolutely.
Okay.
Because I thought, honestly, when I first saw a post about that, I thought you were playing, and then I was like, I think she's serious.
Whoo! I ain't even told all the tea. I got so much tea to give y'all. I don't even know when I'm gonna drop all the tea. I've got tea. So
Piping
I
hot.
need to get on I need to get on like the Breakfast Brothers, one of them messy podcasts. Y'all want the
Let
tea?
me tell y'all about it.
Yes, I'm telling you, I got it coming for y'all. I don't know how I'm gonna present all the tea to you, but I got it coming for y'all.
Hmm.
But definitely, God will create tables for you in front of your enemies. He will do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he will do that.
Absolutely. So let me ask you though, like, and you don't have to get into the tea, but like, how do you continue to do good business while you have like family or personal stuff going on that is kind of stressful?
When you mean good business, well, actually, no, I know exactly what you mean. It's been a mess.
Hmm.
like, like
You're like, no,
I
girl.
won't. Nah, like yeah, some of it's been a mess. Some of it's been good. What's been keeping me afloat mentally is the tour, the podcast, knowing that I do have all of these things going for myself that I didn't have before. They're like my babies. They're my kiddos right now. I'm taking them and I birthed them and I'm raising them to be these great brands.
Hmm.
But there's been some difficult times. Like the last couple tours I put on, I didn't have nowhere to sleep. Like especially that Fort Worth tour, man, I was in the middle of sleeping out of my car,
Mm.
sleeping here, sleeping there, going to this person house, going to that person house. But when I got up on my tour stage and spoke, you would have never know. Like
Yeah.
hosting that event was probably my most vulnerable. I would say the Fort Worth one. I was probably at the most vulnerable state when we hosted that tour.
Hmm.
Man, it's been hard, but things are getting a lot better. Just staying focused. That's why I stay busy all the time. A lot of the people that are meeting me and the people that I know, if you call me, I'm literally sitting at this computer working day in and day out
Yeah.
because I tell myself I have nothing else to do but to build this brand. I don't
Mm.
have any kids. It's just me. I'm no longer married. So it's literally just me and the brand right now. And I'm not going to let anything distract me from building the brand that I want to build. So yeah, it's been hard. It's getting a lot better. Um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I commend you because I mean, I have
Well,
my
thank
ups and
you.
downs too. I know, and I think that's another thing that people watch and they're like, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of her. And it's like, I'm literally a human going through so many
Uh,
different things too. But the thing about me is, I wouldn't say I'm just super private, but knowing about my image and branding and PR, there are certain things that I don't have to announce on the internet,
yeah,
you know, and I'm not going to.
yeah,
But if I love you and you love me and we're close, you'll know,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. But I got to continue to work.
yeah.
So I don't get out here and I say, this happened or that happened and whoa, whoa, whoa. But if I need to take a break, I'm going to take it. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for me, it's not necessary for me to necessarily be like, this is why I'm going on break. Like if you watch my stories on Instagram, you probably get a little bit more personal information than what's on the feed because on my feed, I try to keep it very like, this is what I'm doing. This is my PR girl activities. These are the clients I'm working with. This is what I'm creating. This is what event I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. In my stories, I might be like, listen, y'all,
Yeah.
let me tell you about this, but that's also just understanding the dynamics of the platform and what works
Yes.
best where,
Mhm.
you know.
And I think, I think I think it also too, depends on the brand you're building. Like
Hmm.
with the Women with Purpose tour, it is a platform that you can come and be open and be vulnerable. And it's not just about, talking about our brands, but it's about sharing our testimonies, what we've been through to get to there. You don't even have to have a brand to have a story to tell. So that's what the tour is about. So I think that helps me have a space that I created to be vulnerable, because even last year, in the midst of everything that I was going through, I got so many texts and emails of other women going through things and them
Hmm.
thanking me. And I'm like reading it and I'm pouring down crying. I mean, I'm at work sometimes reading these messages, crying like, y'all don't know I'm hurting too, but I'm happy to be a voice for you,
Hmm.
and I've always been a voice. Like, transparency moment, when I was 12 years old, my grandfather, he tried to kiss me in my mouth. And
Hmm.
I went and told the next day, like, I'm gonna speak up for myself. I knew it wasn't right. It felt funny. It was
Yeah.
weird. And so the next day I told my aunt. And that's when the family secret came out. He did this, he did that to this person and that. I've
Hmm.
always been that voice. If something isn't right, I'm going to speak out about it, whether it's up for me or standing up for somebody else.
Hmm.
But I've always been able to use my voice for good and bad. I ain't gonna say it. I've
Okay.
I've said some things I shouldn't have said before, but definitely haven't been afraid to use my voice. And that's actually what I spoke on at the Fort Worth event, is brand owners learning and understanding how to use their voice
Hmm.
and not being afraid to ask for what they want or reach out to the people that they need to connect with, in order to grow their brand. So utilizing your voice is so important.
Yeah. And I think I grew up the opposite. I grew up in a house where it was not encouraged for you to talk. So my throat chakra was very much damaged as a child.
Mm,
So, like, it took me a lot to be able to be confident enough to go to the microphone or to get on camera and to do what I was naturally good at, which is just talking and communicating.
yeah.
So, like, I think people like you who show vulnerability um, are important because you're like a beacon of light for those of us who are like, I'm in the dark. And it took me a lot of work to become confident enough to do this and to not. And I think sometimes I still have like, it's almost like wanting to go like this, like ducking a little bit, because if people see me doing what I do, then they might try to stop me and they might,
Yeah. Mm,
want me to be quiet or to shine less or to whatever just because of that trauma. So like I have to constantly remind myself that I'm an adult woman and that it's safe for me to show up
mm,
and for me to be here and to be speaking, and it's okay, and I'm worthy of my body, because just like somebody assaulted me. I was very young. I probably about 3 years old was the first time that I was sexually assaulted. So like I've been traumatized
mhm.
since
Yeah.
a little bitty person. So there's so many years of like keeping that in and hiding it and being a secret keeper and all these different things. And it's like, this is a moment for me to speak and to be outspoken. But I think my ability to keep secrets is good in PR because it allows me to keep the secrets
Mm,
of the clients. So it's
mhm.
like,
Yeah.
while I can still move the brand forward or the business forward or give the public a certain image, I'll keep your secrets for you.
Mhm.
And then when it's time to reveal a secret, we can do that. Like just like with Kimberly, like, she told me about her breast cancer in July, but we didn't reveal it until October. But like
Mm.
anything, because sometimes you never know when you'll need to use your own secret that you've been harboring as a crisis
Yeah.
management tool. Like, this is why this is happening. Like, we didn't tell y'all because we felt like it wasn't for you, but this is why this is going on. So
Mhm.
maybe the maybe the product is a little bit wobbly, but did you know that our warehouse just burned down, but we didn't tell anybody yet? It's
Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, there's pros and cons with it, of course, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
commend you for always being confident enough to speak because I was very afraid to use my voice.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I I love to be a voice for other people. Like I tell people all the time. That's why like my sisters I always stood up for them. They really never had to be a voice at all. Just
Mhm.
come get me. Like
Are you older?
I'm the middle child. So
Wow.
and then like on my mom's side, we don't have a brother. So
Mm.
I always kind of was like I'm the tough girl, I'm the tough sister. I'm gonna be big brother for us. You ain't gotta
Oh,
fight. I'll fight for you, especially my little sister. Not anymore, but we'll go into that tea later on another episode. But yeah, especially like when we were kids, like my little sister, like you better not even think about crossing her because you're gonna have to deal
mhm,
with me. But yeah, yeah, life could be tough. Life could be difficult for everyone. Even people we think aren't going through problems, trust and believe they're going through something. Just like you
mhm.
said, they're probably just not sharing it or being an open book like other people like myself.
Right.
But definitely people we're all hurting in some type of way or have hurt in the past, and we're healing. We've healed.
Mhm,
I wish everybody who's listening, anybody right now, if you're hurting, like find your healing journey, find that path, get on it, stay the course, heal yourself. Nobody is going to heal you. You have to
mhm,
heal yourself. Literally, you
mhm.
do. Yeah.
I think one of the things that I've been talking about lately, and people just keep asking because I do kind of tell people when I'm gonna, go on their show, but just talking about my alcohol addiction and how
Oh,
I overcame that. And I think, I don't know, I guess people just want to highlight it because it's like, they feel like it's a huge accomplishment. And I guess it is, but sometimes I forget that I used to really drink every day because I don't.
I think people wanna hear about it because, like, even when you said it, like, it's a shocker. Like, no,
Oh,
like,
really?
they're yes, I never would have
I
thought
don't seem
that.
like the type.
No, not at all.
Girl.
No. Uh-uh.
Oh, I used to be turned up. Like,
Yeah.
I have this thing of water. Girl, I would have filled that up with whiskey.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm glad you
Would have filled it up
overcame
with
that.
whiskey. Yeah, but it was
I'm glad
because
you
I
overcame
wanted to be a
that.
business owner.
Yeah.
That was how I did it because I knew
Yeah.
I needed to let
Yeah.
go of that in order to like become a full-time entrepreneur. Because like, who could be drunk and also having a business meeting?
That's true. And I'm glad you said that because, like, a lot of entrepreneurs don't know, and I said this earlier this year, is that on our road to success and creating the life you live, sometimes it's the things that we have to stop in order for our life
Mhm.
to move forward. Like literally, there are certain things that even I do, habits that I'm like, Sabrina, you better stop doing this. If like even my eating habits, like I smoke a little marijuana every now and then. But,
I think a
like
lot of people do.
I think everybody does too. But and that's weird because that's something that like I'm an open book, but I swear to you, like I do not get on here telling people I smoke marijuana. I'm like, I don't know why.
Well, ain't no shame in it. It's becoming to the point where it's like, it's getting
I
to
don't know why. And
full
I'm
time
sitting up here
legal.
talking about smoke marijuana. It's weed.
Honestly, I think the folks who would place judgment on that just probably have never smoked.
Yeah, yeah,
One, because I
yeah,
think if you have, I mean, I used to be a severe pothead. This was many years ago.
yeah.
And I say that like that because the way that I smoked was giving pothead. It wasn't
Yeah.
giving, oh, I'm a little bit I smoke. No, it was like I woke up in the
Pie.
morning, we had 3 blunts, and then like it was like you had to have three at 3 times per day. Like
Yep.
that was where I was at. But honestly, like when I talk about drinking, I know that I was just really unhealed. So like when you mentioned people doing their healing journey, like that was part of it. So like
Yeah.
when I started wanting to be an entrepreneur, I wanted to change my life. I wanted to be able to put myself in a position where I had more money and more income, and I was able to help my family and just do things that I knew I wasn't able to do with my 9 to 5 job. And I feel like that salary capped me at my income, you know.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was not prepared for the changes that had to be made in myself. And that's why I said
Mm.
sometimes the coaching and the branding go hand in hand. Because if you come to me and say, well, Sheba, I'm building a brand, I'm starting this business and blah, blah, you really have to become a different you in
You
order to
do. You
effectively
really do.
execute it. And that's
Yep.
not something that I'm going to present to you on day one. But you'll eventually be like, I can't, because what I'm doing just doesn't feel good to me and it doesn't feel aligned with where I'm going.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was hard. It was like in the middle of the pandemic. Well, actually, it was the beginning of the pandemic. I had already kind of quit drinking at that rate, but I mean, it was the pandemic. And I think everybody was like, okay, what is my lowest vibrational coping mechanism? Let me go to it. That's why so many people gained so much weight. So many people
Mhm.
drank themselves into rehab or drugged themselves to death. Whatever the thing
Yeah.
was, they were going to it, you know? And
Yeah.
I said, this does not help you. And this is not going to help you build that business. And if you are doing this, then imagine what other people are doing in this moment because this pressure is so much. And I was like, I can't. So I didn't.
Yeah.
And that was really hard because that was like me. You know, I had to stop being me.
Mm.
And I was like, dang, how do I do this? So I had to create a whole new sense of self that was around like a healthy mindset, healthy self image, and the responses, letting go of my negative, resting vibration of negativity that I had developed over 30 plus years of, you know, growing up. That was the most intense thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said all that because I'm thinking in my head like, wow, like I thought about that not too long ago too. Like, gosh, if I don't do this, if I don't do that, I'm like how do I move forward being a different Sabrina? Like
Mm.
I think that past self goals, certain things that they do, and understand that there are many versions of ourselves. To tap
Hmm.
in to different versions of us that we want to be. We might have to let go of an old version that we no longer want to be.
Hmm.
There are a lot of people, regardless if you're in business, not this is you gotta let go of the old version of yourself if you want to enter into and tap into that new version of yourself. If you want to see new things, if you want to see that bank account grow, if you want to travel more, whatever it is that you want out of life. Like my message for 2023 is creating the life you want to live. If you want to do that, you're going to have to let some things go. That old version of you
Hmm.
has got to go. And not to
Yeah.
say everything that you do is gonna go away, little things like going to the movies, things like that, but those bad habits that just literally just set you back, cost you money, your bad spending habits. Like I literally probably spent $200 on food these last 4 or 5 days just eating out.
Girl.
And then I'm mad today why I ain't got no extra cash in my because I spent $200 on fast food last week
Yeah.
on nothing. So
Yeah, it happens. It
yeah.
happens. I tell you what. And I mean, looking at it from the perspective of how much money really makes a difference. Like when I quit smoking
Mhm.
cigarettes, I was like,
Yep.
this is $40. This is $40 a week or more.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm going to stop smoking cigarettes because I want to keep my money.
Mhm.
And so that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was so hard. That was so hard. But I knew I needed to because I was like, and there was another thing. I had gone to the dentist and they were like, Miss Roy, your gums. And I was like, it's because I'm smoking so much. But
Yeah.
I think I was really stressed because, again, that was like 2020, 2021. And I was like, what is going to happen with the world? Who is going to take care of us if all of this falls over?
Yeah.
Who is going to give us some money because we need some? And all of these different things. And I was just smoking. Because remember, I wasn't drinking anymore. So I was like, well, what do I need? Now I got to have a different type of ice. Because that's the thing is
Mm.
if you're going to break an addiction, be
Mm.
prepared for something else to try to move into the space. So if,
Mm.
if you're going to do it, Try
Yeah.
to do it consciously and say, I'm going to now become addicted to water today.
I like that.
So, like, you have to make yourself addicted to this good thing. So, like, I think I told myself, if I want to be addicted to anything, I want to be addicted to the divine. I don't want to be addicted to anything but my relationship to God, because I know
Mm,
that that is something that will always keep me grounded. So, even
mhm.
if I can't buy cigarettes, even if I don't have liquor to rely on, I know I can always connect, you know. And if
With
that's what I'm
God.
addicted to,
Mhm.
then that will keep me no matter where I am. If I'm in the woods by myself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. I and you hit that on the money because I told myself too, like, well, I'm gonna continue to eat out. That's not gonna change, right?
Right.
But at least I can make a conscious decision of what I'm eating. If I know I'm gonna go spend this $20 at Chili's, why not order a salad instead of ordering
Chicken
chicken
crispers.
wings or chicken crispers or anything? Absolutely, or those ribs,
Yeah.
anything other than that. But yeah, so that's why I told myself, well, at least shift that part. Like if I'm gonna still spend the money, at least spend it on something a little more healthier, so I'm not just gaining weight and spending all my money at the same time.
Yeah. I
But yeah,
just thought about Chili's
yeah.
from a branding perspective. Because what do you remember?
Chili's baby back ribs,
Barbecue
barbecue
sauce.
sauce. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
it. Yes,
Yes.
and same thing. I thought about doing a reel like that because I just wanted to just call out different brand slogans and names just
You
to see if you
should.
could guess them or remember them. Because even if you like ba da ba ba ba, I'm loving it. We all know who
McDonald's.
that is. Like yes, like
Yeah.
and then like who and BK is the home of
Whopper.
the Whopper. Like we
Yeah.
all know their
They've
branding, their
had so many
slogan.
good ones. I feel like
Yeah.
Burger King has really been top tier. Your Way, Right Away at Burger King
Yeah.
now. I remember that
Yep.
one. Um, and then when they started bringing that king on there, that was very interesting. The
Yeah.
little
Yep.
character.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's been riveting to watch.
Yeah. I went to an interview with a farmer's insurance agent in Grand Prairie,
Mhm.
and she was talking to me about marketing, about branding, how to get her agency, out a little more. And she has some great ideas for herself. But one of the things I mentioned to her is when it comes to the insurance industry, like from Progressive, she just stands out for me so much. When she came out, she just took over like the
Yeah,
market when it comes to insurance. And then after that, I think
mhm,
Jake from State Farm. I think we
from
started
State
seeing more
Farm.
of that. Like
Oh, you
Flow,
know who else? Mayhem, the
yes,
guy.
yes. I think Flow really set the tone for those other insurance agencies. We didn't
Mhm.
see them coming from a comedic aspect
Yeah.
before Flow came into the picture.
Mhm.
And when she came with Progressive, and she's still my favorite. Nobody is funnier than Flow. Like I
I love
love
it.
her.
Mhm.
And the fact that we know her name, she's just a commercial. She's just there for their commercial. She doesn't. She's she's just
Sh
there for that marketing perspective.
Right.
Like I
Because
know
what is
her
her
by
real
name.
job on the commercial? What
Flo,
did she
I
ever
don't
do?
know. No, nothing.
You know what I
Make
think
me
about
laugh.
too? She came out after for a while after the Geico had been doing the lizard,
Oh
right?
yeah, she did come out after that. Yep.
So maybe Flow emerged as a tool to compete with Geico Lizard, and now
Yeah.
everybody's trying to do characters like Flow.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You hit that on the money. She did. It was after God the lizard.
Yeah,
Yeah. And even the Geico lizard. Like, come on now. We
yeah,
love him too. It's a lizard. And I tell people all the time too, now that we're on that, like when it comes to like logos and branding, it doesn't have to be you. You could build a character just like the Geico lizard
yeah.
or the gecko, whatever it is, the Geico gecko, whatever.
Mhm.
Um and you could do that and that could be your marketing, your advertising. That's who you're putting in front of people as your branding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
actually, if you want it, I have something that I wrote up for somebody once about insurance. They didn't take it,
Mm.
so I
Ooh.
can send it to you.
A commercial?
Yeah, kind of a commercial, but sort of like a method for moving their brand, and it has a lot to
Oh,
do with insurance. So I can send it to you.
might
You can
need
look
to
at it.
connect you with her then.
Yeah, I did some breakdown, like of market research for insurance.
Mhm.
That's what I did.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. I like that. Well, you know what? We're getting to almost the end of the show. I ain't gonna take no more commercial breaks right now. We don't need to take any more. we'll, we'll plug in some breaks later on. But I want to get into this segment. I kind of dove into it a little bit earlier. It's called Hidden Gems in Quotes. And so I take quotes from entrepreneurs here in the DFW or anywhere, especially also from the tour. I take their quotes and I'll plug it in here. So what I'll do is I'll read the quote, tell you who it's from, and then you and I will just kind of dissect like the hidden message of our thoughts on it and things like that. So
Okay.
here it is, hidden gems in quotes. I did my own research and invested in myself. And that was a quote from Mariah Davis. Again, that's I did my own research and invested in myself. Again, that is a quote from Mariah Davis, who spoke at our Women with Purpose tour, Fort Worth. Shout out to you, Mariah Davis. Thank you for this quote. We are now going to dive into it and we're going to talk about this quote. I'm going to let you start it off, Sheba. What do you think about that quote? I did my own research and invested in myself.
Well, to me, the first thing that stands out is investing in self, but also just having done your own research. I mean, I like the whole thing, but it reminds me of being an entrepreneur in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of just the entrepreneurial journey. I have to do my own research
Yeah.
and invest in myself in
Yeah.
order for myself to be successful in this, you know.
Hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with. I think that one. Um, I think that one kind of just speaks for itself. I mean, I did my own research, and I invested in myself. And from the start of the podcast till now, that's pretty much what we've been talking about. Is taking that time out to invest in yourself, doing that research. If you're not hiring people, you got to do it on your own. And
Mhm.
so we all have to, whether you're starting a brand, whether it's creating the life you want to live, you all have to take that time out, do your own research, and invest in yourself. And investing
Mhm.
in self doesn't always have to be a monetary investment. It could be, just like we said, investing in a better health by stopping some of the things that we're doing. Like that's investing
Yeah.
in ourselves. So, Mariah, again, thank you for that quote. I'm going to shout you out later on the day. Again, that quote, I did my own research and invested in myself from Mariah Davis. And again, I think that's a quote you just hear it and you know exactly what to do. Go invest in yourself. It's the best investment
Yeah.
you can make. Yeah.
I mean, it might take years, like we said already. Like it
Yeah.
has taken me
Mhm.
years. It has
Yep.
taken years, but I'm doing it and it's
Yep.
my moment. And I'm not going to sit down because you don't like it. Because I
Exactly.
did my research that said to me, for you to be successful, you have to get to this point. I got
Yep.
to get up there and I can't stop
Yep.
just because you might be uncomfortable, other people or even my
Yeah.
former self. We got to go, honey.
Yeah.
We got to go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got one more segment for you, and then after that, I'm gonna
Okay.
let you let everybody know how they can contact you, and then we're
Okay.
gonna wrap it up. All right. So last segment. Have you ever played that game? Would you rather?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Would You Rather Hidden Images Edition.
Okay.
And so I'm going to relate it to business somehow. And so I'm going to ask you the question: would you rather own Chick-fil-A or would you rather own McDonald's? But before you answer, I want to let you know these numbers. So in 2023, so far, Chick-fil-A's revenue is $19 billion. McDonald's revenue so far is $24.19 billion. So would you rather own a Chick-fil-A or would you rather own a McDonald's?
I would have to go with McDonald's primarily because of some of the Chick-fil-A alignment of beliefs.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that.
I don't
Mhm.
want to own a Chick-fil-A. I mean, I'm sure I could probably pay my employees more and whatever. I would do McDonald's.
Yeah. I think I've answered this before, and I'm going with Chick-fil-A, cause I want to be off on Sundays.
I
I want to be off on Sundays. But I
love
like
that.
how you answered that. Definitely, even in that question, and whatever you're out here doing, it has to align with your goals, no
Mhm.
matter what it is, no matter how much money is presented. If it doesn't align with your goals, with your morals, with your methods, then it's out of the book. It's an easy answer. I'm gonna go with the other one that aligns with my morals and my values. So I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I It's a restaurant here at the AT&T Discovery District here in downtown Dallas. I was there last night watching the Cowboys game, and I went
Mhm.
to this restaurant. Gosh, I forgot the name. I'm so sorry, but that's okay. They're not paying me for promo anyway. Um, but they have this sandwich, and I kid you not. Listen to the name. The name is called the Not Open on Sundays chicken sandwich.
The restaurant has this?
Yes, and I
Okay.
read it, and I'm like, "The Not Open on Sunday chicken sandwich." I'm like, "Oh,
So it's a Chick-fil-A
okay.
chicken style
It's a
sandwich?
Chick-fil-A sandwich. I see how y'all plan it." And so I ordered it, and it literally, of course, they have to change it up just a little bit, but it does, like, I wouldn't say it would compete with the taste, but the way they made it, the chicken breast itself, the bun that they used, the pickles that they used, it definitely is like, yeah, yeah, we're a Chick-fil-A sandwich, but we just can't tell y'all we're a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah. I love that.
So
That's funny.
I thought that was funny, and I'm like, oh, the not open on Sunday chicken sandwich. And it took a second to dawn on me. Why would they name it that? Like, that's a long name. And I told the guy, I'm like, "Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah, let me get that."
They wanna say Chick-fil-A so bad. Tastes like
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, can't say that.
Yes, yes. But this has been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I really appreciate your time. Like this has been a blessing. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Absolutely.
It's definitely going to happen here soon. We're definitely going to be connecting. And I just want to thank you so much for the behind the scenes info you've been giving me, reaching out, just trying to help me, especially with the tour and getting things out there in Houston. I really do appreciate that. And I just want to extend that to you. Anything you have going on that I can promote, share for you, plug it on the podcast,
Yeah,
anything, just let me know, send it to me, and I got you. But we're going to
absolutely.
leave these last few minutes for you. I want you to tell everybody, again, who you are and how they can connect with you and let them know how to book that strategy session.
All right, I am Sheba. I am a brand manager and content marketing strategist. I focus on helping my clients to increase revenue and visibility, primarily using PR, publicity, and excellent branding. You should book a strategy session. It is a serious strategy session. It is not designed to waste your time or your money, okay? It is the $300 investment. So if you feel like you're not ready, you're not sure if Sheba actually does what she says she does, then follow me on Instagram at MUZE brand MGMT and watch me work. That's all you have to do. You can decide whether or not after that if you want to work with me. Okay. And yes, Sabrina, I see your face, but that's how I've kind of taken to doing business because a
Yeah.
lot of people will want you to audition, meaning they want you to do something free or reduced to see if you know what you're doing because they don't have the money to pay you. And let's just be honest with each other and ourselves. And you just come watch me on Instagram if you're not ready to book. Okay.
Oh, I love that. Ooh, y'all, I'm telling y'all. And I tell people all the time, if I refer you to somebody, don't play because my name is on the line. Like, so when y'all get ready to book this strategy session, don't book it if you ain't got your coins ready because she already done told you how you can do it if you don't have your coins ready. But if you have them ready, go ahead and just go ahead and book that strategy session because you need it for your brand. We all of our brands has to grow. We got to book it. So thank you so much for that information. I really appreciate your time again. We're going to get on up out of here. This has been another great episode of Hidden Images Podcast, powered by the all new Hidden Images Radio Network, a Dallas Podcast Hub, plus the top variety of music, all under one roof. And I guess I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Que tengan un buen día ustedes. Bye. Peace.